Let's talk about some ways we can protect our networks from sniffing. The most obvious security measure is, of course, to invest in reliable security tools. A network intrusion detection system, or NIDS, helps to prevent intrusion and alert network administrators to active attacks. These systems search for anomalies in network traffic. They can detect network cards running in promiscuous mode and flag MAC addresses that aren't part of the internal network. A NIDS uses promiscuous mode to capture and analyze packets. It collects data on the packets received and labels them based on their potential threat level. A NIDS can identify both external and internal threats, reducing the potential of insider abuse. But, as good as intrusion detection systems are, you don't want to stop there. That would be like leaving your doors unlocked after installing security cameras. Speaking of physical security, two areas that administrators frequently overlook are physical security and wireless access points. The best network security won't mean much if an attacker can walk right in and plug into a physical port. The same is true for a wireless access point. By nature, wireless traffic is more susceptible to sniffing, so you'll want to be strategic when you decide where to put wireless devices on your network, what protocols to use, and what type of access to provide. Let's talk about a few additional things to keep in mind when you're locking down your network. First, if you're still using IPv4, you should consider switching to IPv6. Second, consider replacing clear text protocols like FTP and Telnet with more secure options like SSH, SSL, and IPsec. Third, use encryption for all sensitive traffic. You can do this using protocols, end-to-end encryption, or virtual private networks. And fourth, implement switched networks. As we've discussed, switched networks provide a natural barrier for an attacker, so you'll want to segment a network in a way that isolates sensitive traffic. Of course, as we've also learned, switches aren't enough on their own. You'll want to enable port security on your switches to ensure that only certain MAC addresses and only a specific number of MAC addresses can access a port. Be sure to configure settings so that the switch shuts down a port when the maximum number of MAC addresses is reached, so MAC flooding isn't possible. DHCP snooping is another feature that can be enabled on the switch to prevent ARP poisoning and spoofing attacks. DHCP snooping is built into most switches. It keeps DHCP servers that aren't under the organization's control from assigning IP addresses to DHCP clients. That's it for this lesson. In this lesson, we talked about protecting our networks from sniffing by using intrusion detection systems, securing our network traffic, and creating switched networks.